Hey, Dr. Karen here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And for this week, I wanted to share something really interesting. I woke up one morning and was looking at, I usually do a morning self-healing, and then I do kind of a global, well, beyond global anyway, healing on various different quote unquote others. And then I have close family and friends and clients in what I call a healing basket. So I do that every morning and before I go to bed. So in one particular morning, and I was asking about why I wasn't sleeping as well that night, which was a little strange because I usually sleep really well, have really deep dreams, and just wake up, fairly refreshed. And that time, not so much. And what I got was that there's a positive morphic field that I was being called to create, which is like a blueprint. So this positive morphic field had to do with, I call it connecting with stillness, but the word that Source wants me to use is resonating with stillness. Now, the funny thing is with stillness, you think it's still, right? Like nothing's moving. Okay. But I guess the reality of the quantum is there's always something ready or pregnant, if you will, with possibilities. So it's like potential movement. So I guess we're using resonating instead of connecting, but you get the picture. So resonating in stillness. Now, during the day, while our consciousness is awake, well, hopefully you're awake when your eyes are open. Anyway, so when our consciousness is awake, the magic number, okay, the magic number for us to connect or resonate in that stillness, in that being spot, the true us, the source self, the inner wisdom, is 9 to 10% of our waking time. That is like hitting the jackpot. It's like hitting the lottery. If we can dip into and feel our beingness, feel our connection to source, 9 to 10% of our waking time, then this is like constant miracle time. I think that as humans, it's fairly challenging, at least right now, to be fully conscious. So, I used to argue a little bit with my coaches and various mentors about, so-and-so is a law of attraction expert. Okay, why do they have health insurance? Right? Because if they're such an expert at the law of attraction, they should never get sick, right? So, or have an accident or anything like that. So why would they have, not that I knew that they had it, but, I was assuming, why would they have health insurance? Or why would they get car insurance aside from certain states not being allowed to drive a car without car insurance? Like all these kinds of questions, right? And I think I answered this myself finally after all these years, is that even it doesn't matter how amazing a teacher, okay, or spiritual guru, mentor, whatever we are, that none of us, or at least none of the people that I've met or have followed, are 100% conscious 100% of the time. So there are times where we go into autopilot, where our subconscious mind is just kind of, and we do this even when we're driving, right? Sometimes we drive that same piece of road over and over and over again. So we kind of know it, so we're not really thinking about driving. We're thinking about something else as we're driving. So that's what I mean by autopilot. So we're not fully conscious and vibrating and feeling the energy. In my case, how I do it is feeling the energy in my body. I'm not doing that 100% of the time, so I'm not 100% conscious. But here's the thing, you don't have to be. So this is the cool thing, is 9 to 10% of your waking time, if you're tuned in to that void, to that stillness, miracles happen. You get more of what you want, less of what you don't want. You react less to what you don't want or prefer, and it sets the tone for your future realities to unfold in a way that is delightful, that's joyful, that's fun and enjoyable, if you will, with miracles and synchronicities and signs and things like that. Now, is it easy? It's simple. Okay, it's simple. Okay, but is it easy? Well, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? And people aren't. So the average person who is not into spirituality, who's not into meditating or any of this kind of stuff, who's in regular common, what some people call common consciousness, or directing their actions through mass consciousness. So they're being really controlled by the masses, what everybody else thinks. The time that they connect in with that stillness, with the source within, is less than 1% of their waking time. And how do we know this? Well, I do divine muscle testing. So I get into and connect with source in my being state, and then I can muscle test much more accurately. And then I can check my clients and my students, so on and so forth, depending on what program we're doing. And I have found that for brand new people new to spirituality who don't already have some sort of meditation practice or haven't been working on the spiritual growth for, years and years, oftentimes they will come at under 1% of the time they're connected to stillness while awake. For those that are practicing energy healers, they generally will be, above 1%. So that might be, anywhere between 2 and 5%. And I got to tell you, it's exponential. I know it doesn't sound like much, like from 0 to 5 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is actually a huge jump. It's a huge jump in consciousness to go from 2% of your waking moment to 5%. Now, at this moment, I vacillate depending on the day it is, what I'm doing. I notice that when I'm doing actual healing work, whether it be group healing or individual healing for somebody else, I tend to remember to go into stillness. And in that place, we can access all sorts of intuition. It's super fun. And so I may get a higher percentage on that day. And then on other days where I'm doing, like, I don't know, give you an example, like taxes or going to the post office, I will forget sometimes. And in that space, then my percentage may be lower for that day. So I will often check in, like maybe once a week or so, and just ask over the last week, on average, what percent of the time am I connected to, aligned, or resonating in that stillness while awake? And right now I'm getting 8 point something. Okay, so close to that 9, right? Close to that 9 and 10. Some days it's 6 something, other days it's 9 something, like I said, depending on what I'm doing and whether I remember. The cool thing is that as we practice, we get better and better at it. And I love to do stillness on the fly. So that means I can be doing and being at the same time. Now, I'm not poo-pooing, obviously, sitting meditation or quiet meditation or lying down meditation, which is awesome. And if it works for you, awesome. Here's the thing, just check in and test. If you do divine muscle testing, what percentage of your waking time are you connected to the void or the stillness? Okay. And our goal is 9 to 10% of the time. And you will know that your muscle testing isn't lying to you, especially if you get a higher number, is that your life will be flowing. You'll be reacting less, and your life will be going the way that you would like it to go. So in other words, if someone is, resonate 9 to 10% in stillness, and their life is a complete disaster, their health is a complete disaster, they feel, anxious all the time, or angry, or reactive, whatever, it's unlikely that they really are resonating at that 9 to 10% of the waking time, because that is just like automatic healing, automatic, miracles happening. And so I like to also call that 9 to 10% of the time auto healing state. So just going into stillness automatically starts the healing process. Whatever wants to heal can heal in that moment, whether it be physical or energetic or emotional. And it's really great because, first of all, it's cheap. You don't have to pay. In fact, if you want to do my training, Stillness on the Fly, you do that for free too. So once you learn it, it's inexpensive. And here's the thing though, right? Some people are like, oh, Dr. Karen, I love your courses, but I can't afford them yet, and do you have payment plans? But I got to tell you that the foundational, most important thing is not all the other stuff that I teach, which is like techniques and things like that, and understanding to ask questions, which is awesome. And some people do have that responsibility to understand the reason why things are happening. But it's the stillness, okay? And that's free. You can do that for free. So sometimes people reject it and poo-poo it like I used to because it's free. Because we don't think anything free is of value. So we don't do it. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? But the most valuable thing that I can offer you is free. So that's stillness. So resonating in that stillness. And I noticed that, if you jump from a 4 to a 5 or a 5 to a 6 or 6 to a 7, there is appreciable shifts in your reality. Positive things in your, now it doesn't mean you always get what you want. Some things happen that you don't want, But the cool thing is you handle it better, and based on how you handle it, the universe then goes, oh, higher vibration, okay, you know, and then it reflects back to you, you know, that higher vibration. And so, you know, magical things happen, connections happen, opportunities happen, more money flows. I mean, all sorts of things, better health, all sorts of things. Now, the news for this week is that when I woke up that morning, when I didn't sleep well, I found out that the astral body, which is sort of like kind of like the invisible, you know, it's like our physical body, but it's like the invisible version of it, and we're connected to it with a little cord. People call it the astral cord. And when we go to sleep at night, sometimes we go traveling, you know, in our astral body. So our physical body stays here, the astral body goes to astral realms and other places where we do, some of us do work, you know, healing work. Other people, you know, learn stuff. Other people communicate with their, you know, alien colleagues. What, you know, there's all sorts of things that we can do while we're sleeping. And I found that I was being called to create a positive morphic field for resonating the astral body in stillness. And I was like, never really thought about that one. Because up to this point, I've just been measuring the percentage of waking time resonating in that stillness, and really not really thinking too much that we had much control of that when we're not fully aware and conscious and awake of being connected to stillness in our astral form. But I was getting the hint, yes, there is that possibility. So the blueprint that I created, it's called an automatic alignment activator, which is an auto healing kind of bubble, if you will, is to help your astral body connect and resonate at that stillness while you are sleeping. Cool or what? Okay, so here I'm actually going to give you the Topican Healing Directive. So if you want to download that right now, and I just evolved it today because as the ascension process occurs and our vibration of the planet raises, we actually have to expand, and this positive morphic field needs to also evolve. So we're going to make it auto-evolving as of today, or as of this recording. Okay, so if you want to receive, you can go ahead and just make that intention to receive. You can close your eyes while you're listening to me if you want. If you feel the energy vibrating in your body, which is the stillness through observing internal movement, which is my favorite way of going into stillness while awake, you can do that as well, just to amplify the effect. So I'm going to do the Topican Healing Directive, and I'm going to direct those energies. And as you receive, you can just imagine that automatic alignment healing bubble activating for you and for your astral body. So ready? Okay, here we go. I now command the automatic alignment activator that automatically connects and resonates with stillness for your astral body and keeps evolving as ascensions occur. Be downloaded and activated in you, in all versions of you, all directions of time, with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way. Thank you. Okay, great. So you can open your eyes if your eyes are closed. You can just feel what that feels like in your body. Just kind of let that settle in. So please let me know, in the next, ensuing days and weeks, what that has meant for you, whether you felt a shift in your life, in your body, how you wake up, what happens when you sleep. I'd love to know. You can post it, underneath this video and let me know what your feedback is. So that's kind of like the exciting news for this week. The other piece I wanted to share with you is that on Facebook, I haven't been kicked out from Facebook yet. Yay. Okay, so I'm on MeWe and Facebook. Anyway, although my Twitter account was somehow, they kicked me out of Twitter, and I wasn't really posting anything except for my, radio shows, and we were talking about energy healing and music healing, and it was pretty benign stuff, right? I wasn't like anti anything. Anyway, but they uncensored me after 2 weeks. And they didn't tell me why. So I'm back on Twitter, in case you're a Twitter fan. But I'm on Facebook, and that's where most of the tribe is. So I'm sticking with that. But MeWe is my backup. I'm doing MeWe as well. So on Facebook, I put up a link. Sorry, I put up a post with hearts and stuff and said, hey, would you guys like a chapter of my weather magic from my upcoming book, Sensitivity is Your Superpower, which is the third book I'm launching this year in December. The second book is Navigating the Clickety-Clack, How to Stay Peace-Filled in a Seemingly Toxic World. That's a compilation with some authors of The Secret, Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor. Couldn't say no to that project. Anyway, so that's November 4th. And then December 10th, so 12 as in like December, So 12/10/2020. So December 10th is a Thursday. Love your support as well, because I'm launching the Sensitivity is Your Superpower book, and Weather Magic is a chapter in there. So it's just editing all my chapters. And there were so many things going on especially in America, with the wildfires here and the tornadoes there and the hurricane here, And I just asked, the tribe, like, how many of you would like that exact excerpt of the Weather Magic from my upcoming book, instead of waiting till December for that. So that gives all the details, all the details on what it is, how you do it, examples, all that kind of stuff, right? So I got a huge response to that Facebook post. And then I posted the link. So what I did was I created a link where you can sign up to get a download of that chapter. And I don't think people saw that link. So what I'm doing is telling you today where the link is. It's weatherhealing.com. Okay, did not buy weathermagic.com because it was $4,444. Anyway, but I bought weatherhealing.com. Okay, so if you go there, then you can get that download of the Weather Magic chapter from the actual book that is launching in December. Sensitivity is Your Superpower. It's one of 18 chapters in the book. Weather Magic's one of them. And this is something that I often will just give away for free. I do, Facebook Lives on how to do that. But here is a formal instruction manual for you to do that. So please get that at weatherhealing.com. Now, if you're already on my email list, you'll be on my email list. But, if you're not on my email list, and you will be on my email list, and we will let you know, more information as time goes about the upcoming book launches and things like that, and some free workshops and stuff like that. So you want to stay on the email list. Yeah. So weatherhealing.com. Feel free to share that link with whoever it is that might be in the line of fire, literally in California, or the line of hurricane or whatever going on, because the more that we can have our consciousness around it, and especially when we have a vested interest in our area of changing the weather, the more we're going to be able to influence in a positive way. So we don't always get to do it, but often we do. And I explain it all in the chapter, so I'm not going to go over it right now. So if you don't already have the Weather Magic chapter, you get it at weatherhealing.com. And like I said, feel free to share that link with whoever you think may need it and who's obviously open to energy healing and that kind of thing, the whole quantum reality thing. Okay, so some announcements this week. The Healing with Vibration Telesummit is in full swing this week. Woo! And my talk was on Friday. Yes, Friday. So hopefully you got to catch that on Friday. And we did some special Topican healing on that day. So I hope you caught that, because I have not done that particular healing elsewhere on a Telesummit before. So I hope you caught that. And, I honestly, this week, I didn't have time to listen to all the amazing speakers. Like, the list was amazing. I looked at, some of these people, I really, really look up to, like Lynn McTaggart, she's just so awesome. Anyway, there's so many on the list. And I thought, I'm just going to buy it because Lloyd, who's run the Telesummit, and he's a Topican healing VIP client who has done amazing work in the EMF sensitivity space, the Telesummits. He made basically an EMF Telesummit, which was so needed, And so this is people being more and more aware about frequency, vibration, light, all these kinds of things. And so this is amazing work that he is doing. Anyway, so he has a really, really super good deal this week for the Telesummit, because I don't have time to listen to everybody on that day, so I'm just going to buy it and then listen at my own pace, to all these lectures and things like that. Of course, in my case, I actually do healing on the work, during the Telesummit, because I'm an energy healer. Not everybody does, but it's very interesting, just super interesting topic. So I hope you had a chance to check it out and check out some of that of the presentations. And if not, I'm going to put the link to register for the summit here. And don't worry. Just get on that email list if you're like, oh, I'm a little late, whatever, because there's always that chance it'll be re-released, right? Even if you miss it, and I do think there is some sort of sale going on for like I got this really great deal, like $59 or something for all the speakers and everything like that. So yeah, definitely check it out and register if you did not already. So that's announcement number 1. And announcement number 2 is that on Monday's Light Warrior Radio Show, I have my friend Peter Schenk back on the show. In the past, we talked about some of his amazing products, especially his software products. He's a software engineer, so he's a healer, software engineer. I mean, what an amazing combination that is. So in the past, I've had these programs on my PC, the Source, Light Body, Aquaware. Those are the 3 that I bought, that I have. And the people that had Macs, Mac computers, or people that didn't have computers at all and used their phone, they're like, I can't use these, right? I really want to use these. So why would you want to use them? Well, they're really cool because what they do is, instead of you having to be a very sophisticated high-level healer, okay, what it does, each of these programs, and there's several in this new program he's launched called AquaSync. So what that is multiple of these software all in one spot that you can log in from any device, including a Mac, including an iPhone, including your PC, and have it there for you. So Aquaware, which is the one I use the most, you can actually program it for any particular healing intention. I call it healing intention. And then you can run it, and it runs really fast right now. So you can run the software, on your phone and charge the water that you're going to drink, okay, or bathtub or whatever, and it's charged with those frequencies. So it's very precise. And like I say, you don't have to be some high-level healer to be able to do it. You just have to press the button, which is really cool. And so I've added to my 2 cents as far as different healing things. And I got to tell you this one story about Aquaware, which is really funny. So I was showing this to my young people. This was like years ago when it first came out. And so we have this party and we do a little training, they're in my house and I feed them good food, anyway. So we have a lot of fun. And this particular one, we thought we would experiment with it. So we took a look at it and they were like, hey, there's one for ayahuasca. And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't tried that. And they're like, oh, let's try that, right? And I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna get all these kids high. Anyway, I'm like, well, I know if it's not for the highest grades, it's not gonna happen. So anyway, so we charged whatever we were drinking, or tea, I think it was, with the energies of ayahuasca. And the funny thing is I'm not sure they felt any different, but I did. I was like giggling the whole night. And I was just like so happy. It's like so awfully. It was so funny. It was so funny. My husband was like, I don't feel anything, but like I said, if it's not for the highest grades, it doesn't happen. But I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. So I programmed it with all sorts of, things in the past, for ascension swelling, for, increased, energy in my dantian. I mean, all these different really, really particular ones, better skating. Yeah, that one is awesome. Yeah, and they've got like the energies of Nikola Tesla or Albert Einstein, like brainy people, like just athletes, right? Like just really, really cool to be able to do that. So that's Aquaware. Now the Source is more for manifesting, right? So you want to manifest some money or manifest your ideal partner, or, maybe we should all concentrate on manifesting world peace. Yeah, let's do that. So the Source is for that, and you charge your water to do that. I know the first time that I used the Source, I think that was Source 3 or Source 5, I can't remember. Literally, I thought, I'm going to ask for something so ridiculous that I will definitely know if it happens, right? So I said, okay, I want, let's see what I want to manifest. $1,000 in cash, that'd be good, right? And I mean, my patients, did pay me in cash, but $1,000 was a kind of a stretch. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to try this new thing out, right? So I go to the Source and I say $1,000 in cash this week, right? So the next day, my patient comes in, she goes, oh, you know what, I hope you don't mind, I just have all this cash that, I just want to pay for, 10 sessions right now ahead of time. I know you give a discount for that. So she gave me like $1,100 in cash. And I was like, wow, this freaking works. This is cool. Anyway, and then the Light Body is for weight loss. Now it's interesting because I didn't really think it was working for me because of the whole ascension weight thing is different. It wasn't fat, it was water. However, the flush is very interesting. I believe that the flush does help with pooping. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% for me, but I think it does help. And there's other things that increase metabolism and things like that. Now, of course, I can do that with Topican healing. You don't need the light body, but it's pretty cool to be able to have that on hand, that you can just program your water and just drink that water, right? So AquaSync actually has that, and a whole bunch of other programs for balancing your chakras and all sorts of other stuff, Navitas, and anyway, we can't even name all of them. So we're going to interview Peter, talk about how that all works, why it works, and how you can get access to this, because right now it's like a monthly fee if you want to do it monthly, and it's very inexpensive. And you can try it out, see if you like it. And if you love it, then you can get like an annual fee or a lifetime fee, something like that. And it's great, especially if you love energy healing, but you yourself, aren't feeling like you're doing it right, or maybe you're blocked, or, you need some help and assistance. It's really great to have these programs now accessible from any device, to be able to do some self-healing, specific, self-healing on yourself or for manifesting. So join us Monday at 12 noon Eastern. And Peter and I will be discussing his AquaSync software and what all that is about, which is super, super exciting. And yeah, so that's the announcements for this week. Thank you so much for joining me on the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And until next time, bye for now.